Asteroid Vesta might be one of the most underrated placements in your birth chart. Like, we don't talk about her enough. And I think that's because what she represents might make people feel a little uncomfy. She is the sacred inner flame, the part of you that belongs to only you. The part of you that isn't concerned with making your family proud or like living up to society's expectations. No, this is about what you find sacred and what you are willing to devote and dedicate yourself to. And we're on to Vesta through the houses. If you have Vesta in the first house, your sense of identity, your persona, your personality, the way you self-express, the energy you carry when you walk into a room, that is all sacred. And no, this doesn't mean that you're here to be selfish. It means that you're here to be devoted and dedicated to being who you are and not wearing a mask or putting on a performance. If you find yourself in relationships or in situations that don't allow you to be fully and radically, authentically yourself, you are going to feel a lack. Authenticity is the name of the game, and making sure that you carve out and build a life that not only allows for you to stay consistently authentic, but celebrates it. From the shadow work perspective, I'm wondering if you grew up feeling as though there were parts of you that were either too much or not enough, if you had to somewhat perform in order to feel worthy of belonging or acceptance. The work here for you is about reclaiming the parts of yourself that you have cast into the shadow. The magnetism, the intensity, the desire for exploration, the ways that you want to express yourself that perhaps the world doesn't usually celebrate. That is what is so sacred for you and about you. Next, Vesta in the second house. This is all about the domain of worth. It's self-worth, it's belief in the self, but it's also financial worth and material worth. This is your resources, your body, your relationship with security. If this is your placement and you don't have a good understanding of what your core values are, get to it, because the second house speaks so much to our core values and how we can show up and live a life authentically from a place that honors those values. Sometimes we get really caught up in like the financial aspect of the second house, and that's usually one of the traps here. Additionally, the second house is Taurus's domain. So I'm wondering if feeling or looking secure or valuable or good enough or having all the Gucci bags or Louis Vuitton bags, whatever, if that is of the utmost importance to you, you're going to feel a sense of lack. If you find yourself ever hoarding resources or feeling like you need more and more and more, that's a pretty good indicator that you're losing the plot. Did you ever learn that love was conditional? Did you feel you had to earn every ounce of attention or affection you received? This is going to be part of that work you get to do. Your value and your deservingness of love, those are all inherent. The sooner you can start believing that, the better. Because this placement is here to feel lovable and secure and enough, abundant, in such a way that no one or nothing could take that from you. Vesta in the third house. Your sacred flame is your mind, the way you communicate, your curiosity, your storytelling abilities. There's also something here distinctly about your perception. I feel like the third house speaks a lot to not only our familiar environments growing up, but how we perceive the world and the way we make sense of the things around us. But really at the core, this is about feeling in touch with your curiosity and your mind, not needing to edit that down or keep it stifled. Now, the third house is associated with Gemini, so this is a house about learning. But really, I think for a lot of us, it's about reclaiming or rewriting certain stories. And mind you, I'm going from the trauma-informed perspective here, that we didn't really have a chance to write ourselves earlier on. I'm wondering if you grew up not knowing how smart you were, or if for whatever reason you doubted your ideas and your opinions, or maybe there's a part of you that's really comfortable with like the thinking and the brainstorming and drafting, but when it comes to actually being heard or putting it out there, that's where you get a little anxious. I'm wondering if there are ways that you think that are unconventional. I'm wondering if you actually have an incredibly sharp intellect. Long story short, with Vesta in the third house, your mind, your story, the way you communicate, and the way you relate to your immediate environment, those are all sacred for you. Vesta in the fourth house. This is a big one because actually symbolically, Vesta was a goddess of the home, of the hearth. But let's just get into some of the basics here, okay? What is sacred to you, what you are willing to devote yourself to, is your home. Now, whether that's your actual physical home, whether that's the home from childhood and therefore like the familiar relationships, or I like to think of the fourth house as being symbolic of the home within ourselves. It's like our little nervous system, our root chakra. And I'm wondering if you have ever felt like you needed to prioritize peacekeeping or taking care of the people around you over being your authentic self. I'm wondering if there's a part of you that fears being seen, because I think the fourth house can have a little bit of fear and wounding around visibility. What comes up for you around belonging and really belonging within that original family of origin? Your task here is in staying devoted to building a home and a sense of safety within yourself that no one and nothing could take from you, and filling that home with the people, places, and things that not only Allow for that, but celebrate it and understand the gift within that. They'll know they're lucky enough to be allowed in. Vesta in the 5th house is such a fun one because the 5th house is all about creativity, joy, self-expression. It's dating, it's having children, it's our hobbies, our passions, our interests. That is what you are here to be devoted to. I'm wondering if anything ever took you away from that. Getting in touch with the stuff that has gotten in the way of us taking ownership of those Vesta placements is just as important as identifying Vesta to begin with. Your creativity and the way you self-express, the way you show up in the world, the way you have fun and want to be seen, that should all be and stay sacred for you. You need to stay devoted to tuning into your inner child and honoring your inner child. Engage with joy, engage with creativity, even if there isn't a set purpose. There is part of you that wants to have fun and stay perpetually connected to that inner child joy and optimism. Finally, Vesta in the 6th house. The 6th house is our daily routines. It's our body. It's our physical health. It's the daily work that we do, the tasks that we do to keep everything going and be in service to something. This is how we take care of our body. It's the little rituals we do on a daily basis, how we make up our bed, how we feed our body, how we move our body to feel its best. And there's also a real focus here on being of service because the 6th house tends to really be in service of or to something. The trick is in making sure that we are staying in service to ourselves for the most part, or at the very least we have boundaries when it comes to how much we give and dedicate ourselves to other people. A little shadow here could look like burnout or self-abandonment. You might have learned that staying devoted to others and caretaking everybody else was actually the key to feeling like yourself and feeling lovable, and it's not. Ritualize the little things you do for self-care, taking care of your body, feeling your best. With this placement, your everyday life gets to feel magical. All right, stay tuned for the next one. Love you all.